Charlie's wasn't random. It was scheduled.
He set it up in a way that, like, okay, you're saying something that's actually factually inaccurate,
right,
according to the narrative. Now, let's be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
Swirly.
I almost texted you when the Charlie Kirk thing happened because my antennas went up about, they showed the photo of that kid, or the guy that they have, the 22-year-old,
yeah,
whatever. And I was almost going to be like, dude.
This kid had a rifle with a scope. Now, here's where it gets weird. The first images of this rifle with a scope, I swear to God, it looks like he has a composite stock on it. Like, it looks like a modern 30-06 rifle. There was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place. And then he did this at this thing. Right after, so somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know exactly what he did. Then, ready for this? He gets arrested for child porn right away.
Right after this happened?
Oh, right away. He's in jail for child porn. Why is that? Well, now.
Porn. Why is that? You can't now, though something so outrageous was just released by Elon Musk and Joe Rogan that it caused the internet to light up like fireworks. Nobody anticipated that Charlie Kirk's widow would abruptly enter the discussion of all the individuals who do so. Additionally, their handling of it was It began when Rogan disclosed in one of his most recent podcast shows that he had been surreptitiously monitoring Charlie's enigmatic situation for a while. He claimed that there were simply too many strange aspects and inconsistencies that bothered him. After being unintentionally identified in a recording from that very show, Elon Musk's response left everyone speechless. He only wrote on social media, "The truth cannot be. It only took that one sentence to be hidden forever." The internet blew up in a matter of hours. The video was being replayed by millions of people who were focusing on every glance, every pause, and every small expression between two of the most influential men in media and technology. Why would they even bring up a matter that most people believed had been resolved long ago? A few others believed it was a secret signal, a subliminal way of stating something more profound without actually saying it, while others said it was just a coincidence. That brief conversation between Rogan and Musk, whether deliberate or not, was sufficient to transform a dying rumor into a national obsession. And all the old rumors that people believed had been put out of their minds were rekindled after the video went viral. All of a sudden, the identical question was being asked. Is the actual narrative just getting started? In a matter of hours, Rogan's statements were all over X, YouTube clips, Reddit, and TikTok. Like detectives, viewers analyzed every moment of that video, looking for hidden meaning. Did Rogan know something that the rest of the world didn't? And right when it seemed like things couldn't get much stranger, Elon executed his trademark silent maneuver. There were only a few subdued likes on Candace Owens's remarks.
Whenever the authority says something and not prod any further. We can't allow that to happen here. I won't allow that to happen here because this something terrible has traumatized the world, okay? And I feel as though when it comes to this, the media, the government, the talking heads, everyone is confusing us about what actually took place.
Challenging the official storylines surrounding Charlie's case, but no words, no post, and no statement. Social media was in complete turmoil as a result of just one simple gesture. People believed that a major event was about to happen. Hashtags associated with Candace, Rogan, Musk, and Charlie's widow began to go viral, trending on all platforms and in every nation. The internet became Alvernit, huge detective board. People believed that Elon and Joe, two strong men, knew something that the rest of the world shouldn't know. Depending on your point of view, their silence only made things worse or better because each enigmatic response further deepened the mystery. Wild theories quickly began to emerge like mushrooms following a storm. Some said Elon and Rogan were playing a psychological game with the media, while others believed they were hinting at a cover. Observe how quickly the mob would degenerate into mayhem. Whatever it was, the timing couldn't have been more ideal. It had the deliberate feel of a trigger just wanting to be pushed. Days later, Candace Owens fueled the fire with more fuel. She left a mysterious message stating that she had discovered something enormous in her private notes that she was not yet ready to share. Social media went into overdrive after that one sentence. All of a sudden, people began making connections between seemingly unrelated things. Reddit investigators, independent podcasts, Twitter threads, and YouTube sleuths all claimed to have solved the mystery. Some claimed Candace had evidence of a covert agreement between influential insiders. Others said Elon and Rogan were deliberately inciting controversy in the hopes that the public would discover the truth on its own. Even the mainstream media, which typically act as though they are unaware of these things, started discussing it without actually discussing it. The internet is going wild over Musk and Rogan's exchange, says the headline, but why? And that only stoked further interest. Nor did the denials help. Every effort to minimize the drama only served to increase suspicion. Fans were connecting the dots like they were cracking a national secret in a matter of hours, as old quotes reappeared and clips were slowed down. Musk's tiniest tweet was interpreted as code, and Rogan gave a small look that, by itself, sent a message. We dissected each and every frame to find hints. Like digital detectives, viewers slowed down, zoomed in, and compared times. Before long, the internet was dominated by a single, urgent query. Is the truth coming out at last? Or are all of us involved in a huge sociological experiment? Since everyone was aware of one thing for yes, the public becomes increasingly fixated on discovering what powerful individuals may be concealing the more secretively they behave. This time, Charlie Kirk's widow, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens, and Elon Musk had inadvertently set off a domino effect that no one could halt. Their combination of mystery, cryptic clues, and silence had everyone in the world ensnared in a never-ending cycle of speculations, inquiries, and restless speculation. However, what they didn't say was more eerie than what they said. Silence can occasionally rock the internet more powerfully than 1,000 words, especially when it comes at the right time. People are still obsessed with every post, every video, and every nuanced look because they are looking for signs that the truth may eventually be coming to light. Then it did. Right when it was unable to get much stranger, fans discovered what they had seen in the viral clip was just the beginning when Joe Rogan's entire podcast episode was eventually released. The actual material is far more disturbing and profound. Charlie Kirk wasn't merely name-dropped by Rogan. He had questions about everything. Like a guy balancing on a tightrope, his tone was composed but strategic. His statement, "There are too many things that don't line up," was followed by a litany of contradictions that sounded like they belonged in an investigative thriller. He questioned the equipment and pointed out an odd picture of the accused person utilized and indicated logically illogical time gaps in the official timetable. Then came the words that made everyone in the audience shiver. No one would believe this if it were a movie. He didn't sound angry. It was incisive, restrained, and uncannily deliberate. You sensed it. Rogan was aware that he was probing something delicate and larger than himself. However, the internet went crazy when it became his new interest when he claimed, "I almost texted someone when it happened." In an attempt to identify that person, millions of people paused, rewound, and slowed down the video. Was it Candace, Elon, or someone with a direct connection to the enigmatic circumstance? The game of guessing descended into complete mayhem. Rogan's entire podcast was dissected like a murder scene. Every scene was dissected by viewers when his eyes shifted, his tone softened, and when a pause seemed to go on a bit too long. All of a sudden, the internet community began to claim that Rogan was no longer merely a host. In some way, he had become a part of the mystery. Some media experts even asserted that he was employing what they dubbed the pretending effect, which involves giving just enough hints so that people might begin making their own connections without outright disclosing anything. At the same time, Rogan's most ardent supporters believed he knew far more than he was admitting. Viral TikToks, lengthy Reddit conversations, and in-depth exposts began establishing links between Rogan, Musk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, and Candace Owens. Timestamps, old tweets, and snippets from podcasts were arranged in a line, seemingly forming the outline of a secret narrative, and quickly, public opinion started to change. Instead of being perceived as an inquisitive bystander, Rogan became a figure of defiance, a man who alluded to facts that others were afraid to speak aloud. The major question continued to resound. Did he unintentionally draw back the curtain on something odd, or did he purposefully leave crumbs for the world to follow? Silence is always more powerful than words when Rogan ventures into uncharted area. There was a long, heavy pause at the end of the episode. Just silence, no fade-out, no music. Persuaded that there was more to that quiet conclusion, millions of spectators remained motionless, watching their displays. Online, the atmosphere was electrifying. More than a coincidence, it seemed like a warning masquerading as reflection. And Elon Musk made his move in typical Elon form just when everyone believed it couldn't get much weirder. He didn't even tag anyone, publish a video, or go on a tirade. It only required a few brief tweets, no hashtags, emoticons, or justification. The globe, however, went into overdrive. He began by responding to a random user who inquired about the contentious podcast segment. "Not everything is what you think," he replied. "That's it, no context, no follow-up." but that was enough to send the internet into overdrive. Within minutes, the tweet had over 1 million views, and people were deconstructing it like it was a secret code. A few hours later, Elon struck again with another cryptic tweet. Sometimes, silence says it all. That one line sent shivers down the timeline, and everyone was suddenly convinced. I want to be clear that I believe, in fact, I know that Charlie was fighting for custody of himself towards the end. I want to say that. I want to say that plainly. There are lies being told, and they need to be slapped down right now. The silence was no longer confusion, but communication. There were no names, locations, or direct references. Elon Musk's cryptic tweets coincided almost exactly with Joe Rogan's mention of Charlie Kirk's widow on his podcast, and that's when the theories exploded. Some thought Elon was subtly revealing that he knew more than the public could ever imagine, while others were convinced it was one of his well-known social experiments testing how powerful he is. Whether it was intentional or just a coincidence, the timing was too good to ignore. Suddenly, it seemed like two of the world's most powerful voices were exchanging coded messages, and the entire internet was attempting to decipher the language. Within hours, Reddit was filled with enormous timelines that matched the precise moments Rogan spoke to when Elon tweeted down to the second, and thousands of videos appeared on TikTok. Regarding the now famous statement, silence speaks volumes. Before anyone could come up with a single explanation, Candace Owens joined the chaos like a thunderstorm. In typical Candace fashion, she didn't tiptoe in. Instead, she made it dramatic. She went live with a calm face, but began her video with a line. Everyone had their own theories, ranging from hidden government deals to personal secrets, and some even connected it to Elon's earlier interviews about truth being stranger than fiction. Rogan started it, Elon pushed it further, and Candace set it on fire. 3 names, 3 voices, and millions of users spinning theories faster than they could manage. That scared her followers. It's all happening, just like I said. That was it. No proof, no details, just tension, so thick you could feel it through the screen. In minutes, her name was trending everywhere again. Refresh their feeds. People became fixated on discovering the secret thread that bound them all together. They were convinced that there was a larger story going on behind the scenes, one that a powerful person didn't want to be revealed. Candace, depending on your point of view, made it worse or better by posting a single post that sent social media into a complete meltdown. At last, people realized what I had been saying for months. No hashtags, no tags, no context, just that. It was chaos wrapped in mystery, and the world couldn't turn away. It couldn't be a coincidence, not after everything that had already happened. Within minutes, platforms exploded once more, and fans started resurfacing her old clips in which she had questioned the inconsistencies in the Charlie Kirk case, the strange timeline, the unexpected appearances, and the strange gaps in the official reports she had previously flagged. There are private messages that Charlie wrote about his wife, and the media never dares to mention them. Candace Owens appeared live on camera for more than an hour later, her tone heavy, almost deliberate, her expression calm, every word she spoke feeling loaded, as if she were walking a fine line between danger and truth. Then, right in the middle of the stream, she dropped a line that made the entire audience stop breathing. Immediately, the internet was on fire. Hundreds of thousands of people bombarded her live stream conversation, demanding screenshots, pleading for proof, and bombarding the comments with words like "show us," but Candace didn't flinch. She simply smiled, leaned forward, and said softly, "Patience. The truth always finds its way." She abruptly stopped the video with no further explanation or follow-up, and social media went crazy after that. People said Candace was sitting no one really knew what she was holding, but everyone agreed that if Candace spoke again, something huge was about to happen. Then, just when no one thought it could get any stranger, she mentioned the diary. Candace claimed to have access to Charlie Kirk's private notes, written just days before he passed away, one of which was solely about his wife and what he wrote. Screenshots, handwritten notes, perhaps even entire pages from Charlie's personal diary. Things the world had never seen. That was unbelievable. She didn't read the note out loud, but she said, "It changes everything." Those 3 words sent shockwaves through the internet, and Candace insisted that once the note was made public, people would view the entire situation in a completely different light. While some critics accused her of inciting drama to garner views, most thought she was holding onto a crucial piece of evidence, possibly even the missing piece of the puzzle. With headlines like "Candace Owens claims to have Charlie Kirk's personal notes," news channels and podcasts jumped on it right away, and within hours, the clip was all over the internet. As usual, Candace's mystery kept the conversation going, and nobody could tell if she was exposing the truth or simply daring the media to follow her story. However, the moment that really stopped the internet in its tracks came next. Candace revealed in his private then came the line that hit everyone like a lightning bolt. "I don't know who I can trust anymore." Candace shared only a cropped, blurred fragment of the handwriting, but it was enough to send chills down people's spines. Charlie mentioned feeling alone, paranoid, even as if someone close to him was hiding something. He felt watched, uneasy, and unsure of who was really on his side. The internet was buzzing with one haunting question. Was Charlie trying to leave a hidden message? A warning that no one caught in time while he was still here. One small note had turned into a global mystery, and it was obvious the story was far from over. Every platform, from X, formerly Twitter, to TikTok, to Reddit, was completely flooded with debates, theories, and self-proclaimed investigators who swore they had cracked the case. Naturally, everyone's attention was drawn to one individual, his widow. Was the message about her, or was it a hint at something much larger? Something no one dared to discuss aloud. That uncertainty turned into the ideal storm, the spark that ignited an impending internet fire. The online community was split in two, with one side thinking Candace Owens was revealing something enormous, no matter which side people were on. Everyone was talking about her, and even more so, because it was a real cover-up that the mainstream media wouldn't dare touch. They saw her as fearless, saying what everyone else was too afraid to say. But the other side pushed back just as hard, accusing her of manipulating others, cherry-picking details to stir up trouble and get attention, and even claiming she was using Charlie's name to further her own spotlight. The internet was completely unhinged within hours as a result of everyone's obsession with Charlie's enigmatic notes. Posts, threads, and clips proliferated so quickly that algorithms were unable to keep up. And within a day, timelines were dominated by headlines such as "The Hidden Truth," "Charlie Kirk's Last Message," and "Who Couldn't He Trust?" Reddit threads expanded at remarkable speed, attracting hundreds of thousands of followers. It was anarchy, beautiful, messy, digital chaos. The speculation grew wilder by the minute, with people zooming into each blurry screenshot, comparing pen strokes, and debating the meaning of each word. Some amateur analysts said that Charlie's handwriting had changed, slanting slightly to the left, which they said showed signs of deep mistrust, fear, and stress. Others believed the note contained hidden initials tucked between lines or tiny repeating symbols that looked like coded signals meant for someone close to him. The mystery had taken over the internet, and it didn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon. A new generation of digital detectives joined in on TikTok, producing thousands of videos using software overlays and handwriting recognition tools in an attempt to prove that the note was actually written by Charlie himself. Every hour brought a new discovery, a new hidden clue, and a new conspiracy twist that sent fans into even greater despair. Others swore that there were multiple versions floating around, each trimmed differently so the public only saw the lines that backed a specific storyline. Meanwhile, independent commentators on YouTube and across podcasts jumped in with hot takes about the power of holding information back. How a careful person like Charlie might drop hazy lines on purpose to make someone think without naming names. And the note Candace shared shows hints of light touch, tiny tweaks that change the mood without rewriting the message entirely. No one could actually confirm the note's origin in a clean official way. But that didn't slow anything down because the fog itself kept the story alive. Some dismissed it as coincidence, while others claimed he wrote those lines as a nudge, a mental tap on the shoulder that wasn't meant to be missed. The more people examined it, the deeper the spiral became, with doubt after doubt until the mystery felt bottomless. That the chase wasn't just about a rumor. It was culture, a whole ecosystem of theories feeding each other in real time, and everyone had their version of the truth. No one was giving up their angle without a fight, at least an algorithmic one. When reporters asked Candace for confirmation, she responded coolly, "Time will tell." That one line sparked even more curiosity, as if she had purposefully put a key back into her pocket. TikTok did what TikTok does: zoom, slow, enhance, repeat. As creators analyzed every frame from Candace's live, attempting to read blurred lines on a sheet they claimed came from Charlie's. It was about what Charlie wrote and why Candace decided to show it at this particular moment, which made the entire story feel stranger and heavier. Hidden meanings, purposeful silence, missing words, all of it still had the ability to shake timelines and keep the conversation humming nonstop. Others said the wording pointed beyond the personal, towards something larger, perhaps a political angle or a quiet project Charlie once teased but never launched. Whatever the truth, the edits, the silence, and the timing keep drawing people back. Some said they spotted words like plan or timing, then conjectured that the note questioned how quickly the widow stepped into his space after everything unfolded so quickly that it raised new questions all by itself. The official version of events didn't fully match reality, but just when the buzz seemed to be dying down, Elon Musk jumped back into the mix. And that's when things went completely crazy. In the meantime, Joe Rogan's devoted fanbase was convinced that everything Candace Owens said lined up perfectly with what Rogan had hinted at in his podcast. The message was clear to them, off the rails. He simply liked a few postings that said Charlie knew something he couldn't say, without posting a thread or launching into a tirade. Every platform was bursting with hypotheses, screenshots, and speculation about what Elon's likes actually meant within minutes of that one gesture. a silent button touch. By this time, the discussion wasn't even about believing anymore. It had turned into everyone wanted a piece of it. From small podcast hosts and curious TikTok users to major YouTubers and political commentators, they all claimed to have their own version of the truth. And the whole thing became a growing online universe of intrigue and speculation. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any wilder, Candace did it again, hosting what appeared to be a harmless Q&A livestream until "Do you think Charlie's widow knows more than she's admitting?" asked one viewer. After a few lengthy, nerve-wracking seconds of stillness, the entire chat froze. The comments stopped scrolling, and Candace leaned in and whispered, "Let's just say he wrote about trust for a reason," with a slight smirk. She then abruptly stopped the stream. There was a silent wave. No explanation, no follow-up. And then the screen went dark. Deafening quiet that became instantly recognizable. That 5-second film went viral in a matter of minutes. Countless arguments, millions of replays, and thousands of slow-motion analysis. While some viewers thought she was directly confirming the allegations, others claimed she was expertly manipulating the audience by giving away clues to maintain the spotlight. In any case, everything was flawless. The following morning, social media was completely timelines were overflowing with new hashtags. Dare Charlie's journal. Number sign. What did she know about the number sign? Additionally, trust notes and number signs were also in vogue globally. Every interpretation on Twitter or X grew more dramatic than the one before it. Elon liked another post. Just when you thought he was done stirring things up, it was a meme this time. Easy but cool. There are always crumbs left by the truth. The entire online community was rocked by that one move once more. According to some, Elon is discussing Candace. He is aware. While others retaliated, all of this is merely a publicity trick. Something new started to emerge between those two groups, believers and doubters. A mutual fixation on the mystery itself, rather than on Charlie, Candace, or Elon. Millions of people spend their nights searching for clues to a mystery that may not even exist. Joe Rogan said nothing at all. No statement, no clever tweet, no answer. And for some reason, that quiet was more devastating than any justification. People began whispering more and more as he remained silent. It's possible that Rogan, Musk, and Candace were operating as a covert media triangle. Try it out on the whole internet. Videos of Candace uttering her terrifying statement about trust became viral on TikTok. Some people focused on her eyes, certain that they saw the expression of someone who was more knowledgeable than she was. Others asserted that she was reciting a script and that the entire situation was a well-planned setup to produce one of the year's biggest online sensations. But the reality was obvious, regardless of one's stance. The enigmatic trust diaries tale. Furthermore, what Charlie Kirk might have found had already developed into something far more significant than rumors. It had turned into a contemporary mystery that was a worldwide preoccupation. The internet is currently in a holding pattern as people wait for Rogan to finally speak up, for Elon to post another cryptic clue, and for Candace to reveal the entire diary. However, the longer people wait, the more they become enmeshed in this never-ending web of hypotheses, suspicions, and hazy realities. There is no longer any distinction between pure belief, uncertainty, and truth. Silence has emerged as the most potent weapon in a world when a single tweet can spark a movement. One indisputable fact about the modern digital world is shown by the stories of Candace Owens, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and the Charlie Kirk diaries. Speed now determines truth itself rather than proof. People tend to believe the first version they see. In a live stream, a brief like, a small comment, or a silent look. In just a few minutes, any of those might ignite a storm that circles the world. The best aspect is that there is no longer any need to conceal the truth. The truth can be obscured by misunderstanding alone in a world where voices are jumbled. It serves as a reminder to think things through before sharing, to ask questions before believing, and to do more research before joining the crowd. Since chaos spreads more quickly in this day and age, FanFact's quietness is not a sign of surrender. It's a tactic. Furthermore, not all viral content is authentic. However, not all genuine content has the opportunity to go viral. Subscribing to Flow Fame will allow you to continue discovering the untold tales, behind-the-scenes secrets, and subtle power plays that are rocking the internet. Decode the noise instead than merely scrolling over it. Please like, comment, share, and pay attention because the next story may be different. Everything. See you at the next.